So this is the pound dollar analysis for Monday, the 12th of March. Now let's have a look at where prices may likely go. So previously we had price come up towards a 400 period moving average with a brief pull back down towards a 200 period moving average. We formed a lower high. So we've got a high, we've got a lower high. Had price come down towards an area of support we previously identified in around the 38.57, from which we've seen the buy side momentum to retest the old highs here in around the 139. We weren't able to break above and test the highs previous to that. We did came towards this 139, didn't quite test the 400 period average, from which we did see a breakdown towards the 200 period average and 38.57. Had a brief pullback, as we would possibly expect, as we do have a bit of a confluence of the 200 period average as well as a horizontal level, from which we've seen prices formed a lower high still. So we formed a lower high slightly below this 139. We see the sell side momentum take us down towards this 138, traded a bit below. It's traded all the way down towards our 37.80, from which we have seen bullish buy side momentum come back into the market with a brief consolidation around a 138 round number, brief move upwards, a very shallow pullback, and from which we've seen a strong buy side momentum come back into the market, taking us above the 38.57. We've had the what could be termed a pullback, and the reason we look at this and say it's pretty much a pullback is because these candles here increasingly smaller in size. These bearish candles, they're not as large, not indicating that the bears have complete control of this market, and as would be expected, the bulls have returned. Now we've held on to 38.57, and as we can see at present, we do seem poised to use it as a springboard for further upside continuation, and as we are using it as a springboard for further upside continuation, we do seem poised for another test of the 139 level. Now 139 has proven itself important over the past couple of trading sessions, so bear with me a second here. So 139 has proven its importance over the past couple of trading sessions. So we are going to put it on the chart, as it is an important reference point. So let's just I'm not sure what this is doing there. We'll remove that. So yeah, 139 has proven itself an important reference point. So if we do continue to have this upside continuation from where we are at present, we are looking for a test of the 139 level up, successful break from which we'll see our prices react towards a 400 period moving average and our all highs over here. If, however, if we do continue above this 139, we are looking for price head towards that 39.42. Break from which we're looking for price head up towards that 140.05. Yep, 140.05 level. If, however, this move upwards is somewhat capped, and we do see sell side momentum come back into the market, if we do break down from 38.57, we'll see our price react towards the 38.35. We've not had any much positive reactions for a while now. A break from which we'll see our price react towards the 138 level, and if we're not able to hold this support at 138, we are looking at price head down towards that 137.50. So with that said, that pretty much wraps up the pound dollar analysis here on the hourly chart. So we'll have a look at the higher time frames. So we head over to the monthly chart. Okay, scale on here correct, and so a lot of drawings in the chart. So we are seeing this continued recovery in the pound against the dollar. So we've had prices come down towards this level. We've formed a series of higher lows here on the monthly chart. We've had this move upwards. We've had this very large candle from February. And usually what happens when we do see large candles, we do have a bit of a pullback. And as we can see, a very large candle from January. As we can see, we had a pullback in March, pretty bearish candle, but so far, let me just rephrase that. So we had this very large bullish candle from January. We had the bearish candle which preceded it, which followed. in February, and so far in March we are seeing this bullish buy side momentum come back into the market. So we'll see how see if we can retake the old highs. However, we do form a bit of a bull flag, and we have further upside continuation here on the pound dollar. Now let's just have a look at the weekly time frame. And as we wait for the weekly time frame, which is taking a bit longer than we'd like. Maybe there we are. So we've headed over to the weekly time frame. We'll just remove the drawings from the charts for now. And over to the weekly time frame, we can see we formed our base just here, a series of higher lows in around our base, and from which we've seen a series of higher lows. We've been using the 20-period moving average here as a support. We've then had this pretty strong run to the upside. Now we're in a bit of a pullback at present. And we do still seem a bit bullish because the reason I say that is because this pullback is not, we're not seeing just a series of bearish candles possibly indicating reversal. Instead, we are seeing a few bullish candles here, which suggest that there are buyers in this market. So we're potentially forming a bit of a bull flag for a break test of the 200-period moving average here on the weekly time frame, and a successful break from which, and we've identified the horizontal levels. We are looking for price head up towards that 150 level, 145, and then 150. Likely key psychological levels here on the pound dollar. If we do put our drawings back on the charts again, 145, 150. Now, let's just have a look at the daily time frame before wrapping up here on the pound dollar. And over to the pound dollar on the daily. We can see here we've come down. We've had this price move upwards, posted a series of higher lows. Then had prices move towards the 143.43 level. Those were pretty much the high side. The level wasn't previously identified. From which we've had a pullback and formed a bit of a double top in around 42.66, and we from there had a pretty sizable pullback here, posted a higher low. So we've got our highs, sorry, not higher low, a lower high. We've got our highs, a lower high. We've pulled back. Potentially, if we are not able to retake the highs from last week, we have another lower high, but we do seem poised to test the old highs from last week, from this bearish candle. So we'll see how prices develop going forward, but we do seem poised possibly for a retest of this level in around at 37.50, from which we could potentially see strong buy side momentum come back into the market. That's only if we're not able to retake these old highs, potentially heading upwards, forming a higher low and indicating a shift in momentum from this primary direction, which is downwards. Well, the most recent direction, which is downwards. And with that said, that pretty much wraps up the pound dollar analysis. Thanks for watching.